Hello, everybody. Sorry it's been a while. It's been, I think, technically it's been a month, but it's been really more, I guess, like three months at this point, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I know it's been a while. I know there was a few episodes that came out in January, and I think February as well of Family Guy. I just haven't been. I've just been behind on that. My camera was in the shop, and I finally got it out. So with that being said, I guess I don't know how long I have to talk before the copyright is over with. Like I think some videos, I think movies more than anything have to be like an hour long, or not an hour long, like a minute long. So it's called Love Story Guy. And anyway, we're going to be watching that one. And then I think the next videos are going to just be me playing catch up until like the most recent episode that happened. With that being said, I think it's been more or less enough time for me to start the video, so let's get into it. Here we go. Alright, Jonathan Fan, here we are.
Sorry I'm late. Had a family emergency with, I don't know, I want to say Chris. Wasn't listening super close.
Why don't you sit down and drink beer and tell us about it instead of being home with your family?
Apparently Chris and his girlfriend broke up. Something about her wanting to see other people.
So the doctor says this surgery is gonna restore my eyesight.
What? Oh no!
Oh no? But I thought you'd be happy, Colin Farrell.
Oi, blimey! Get stuffed. I'm gonna see other birds. Good day, mate.
Don't look. Don't look. I think that's Colin Farrell.
And this girl
Okay,
was his first
interesting.
love. Poor Chris. He was sobbing his eyes out when I abruptly left.
First loves always hit the hardest.
I'll say. I still remember my first real love. Seems like yesterday. Why, just thinking back on her makes everything all shimmery and distorted. I was working for Federal Express, like Tom Hanks in Castaway. And just like Tom Hanks in Castaway, I said the words Federal Express a suspicious number of times. Excuse me, miss. Asking as a Federal Express employee, may I please get a refill of iced tea very quickly, the way Federal Express delivers parcels? There was only one thing I loved more than corporate branded content. And that was my fiancée, Helen Hunt.
Hubba hubba.
Darn right, hubba hubba. You know how most guys want their girlfriends to look like a pissy bird? Well, I was living the dream. You're 17 seconds late. I am a Federal Express employee who is very obsessed with time.
I'm barely ever remember. I saw the TV version of that movie, so I don't really know what's accurate and what isn't with these jokes.
Yes, only 3 more days till the wedding.
Yep, I've got just one last flight across the plane crash sea, and then I'm all yours. Little did I know. I'll never forget that fateful day. Looking back, I never should have tried to do 2 fantasy football drafts while flying a plane. I had been on that island for 4 years. Man, I've been on this island for somewhere between 2 and 7 years. I'm not sure which, because I'm no longer obsessed with time. That's more character development. Anyway, all these years later, I still couldn't get Helen Hunt out of my mind. I was going nuts thinking about her. Oh, Helen. It was me and Wilson and this one other kind of lame guy.
Boy, you hoist the sail, then where did the wind go? Am I right?
I just saw you take a dump in the ocean. I'm not really looking to chat. Days passed. Wilson and I were all alone. No drinking water and no food. But then, disaster struck. Eventually, I moved on and largely forgot about Wilson.
Alright. Okay. Okay, it's La La Land now. It went from Castaway to La La Land.
Why are you smiling, honey?
Oh, I used to bone that volleyball. Apparently, I was picked up by some cargo ship. But then, wouldn't you know it, the ship got taken over by Somali pirates.
Look at me. Look at me. We are doing this movie now.
Then that Somali pirate did a bunch of stuff, and then nothing else ever again, and eventually I got back home. After years and years away, it was finally time to see my Helen.
Oh my God, you're alive!
I thought about you every day, Helen. You're the reason I stayed alive all these years. I never stopped loving you.
I'm sorry. I got back together with Paul Reiser.
What?
We did a Mad About You reboot on Spectrum Originals.
Which
What?
just sounds fake. I mean, did you watch any of that? Do you even know anyone who, I literally do not know one person who saw like a single minute of that.
What are they even talking about?
Was devastated. Helen was my first true love, the only woman I ever wanted, and she had moved on without me. Fortunately, 5 years later, they invented portable pornography on telephones, and I've literally never thought about her since.
Okay.
Well, that was a touching tale of first love, Quagmire. And I Googled Spectrum Originals, by the way, found nothing. 0 matches. Anyway, I remember my first love. It's quite an interesting story.
Okay, I guess I'll be going last tonight.
This was back in the early 60s. I was a dance instructor. Anyway, this camp was highly renowned for offering exclusively clean dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
I ever met. It's why we come here every year.
But all the while, I was being watched by the prettiest girl in the camp. Her name was Jennifer Schnoz, and I saw her everywhere. Seems like she was always sniffing around someplace.
Okay.
Daytimes were reserved for clean dancing, but at night...
Yeah, I remember, actually the only time I've seen Dirty Dancing, the movie, if you want to call it seeing the movie, is I was at my grandparents' house. I think it was the last time I was actually there. And my sister wanted to watch the movie. And I was like high as a kite from being at a friend's house. This was like 11 years ago, I believe. Yeah, I just passed out and fell asleep like halfway through the movie. I really can't remember what I last saw before I passed out and saw the ending, which was like I don't even know, but like yeah, it was definitely from what I saw a kind of a boring movie. If I don't know, I was really high, but it just it seemed pretty bland, honestly. It seemed pretty overhyped, but that's just my first impression of seeing Dirty Dancing. So let's see what Family Guy does with that one. Because the first time, Castaway, I saw the TV version, and I just told you what I saw with Clean Dancing. So let's see what this one is like.
We had booze, sexy music, and because it was August by a lake, lots of mosquitoes. My favorite partner was Dancy McGee. She was the best dancer on the staff, as you can tell from this dance party, where she's dancing neither better nor worse than anyone on the staff. But there Jennifer was again, always with her nose pressed against the glass, or anything else she was standing 3 feet away from.
Might be going a bit hard with the nose stuff.
Relax, she's fine. She got a new one. But Dancy, what about the big talent show? Dancy was going to be my partner at the camp talent show, which is the most important thing in this whole story.
I'm out.
What? Then who am I supposed to dance with? Literally any one of these other women we just saw dancing?
I'll do it.
Ugh.
I know I've never danced before, but you could teach me.
All right, I'll give you a shot, but you better not be ticklish if I touch the inside of your arm during dance practice.
Yeah. No, that won't be a problem.
I don't get the joke there, to be honest.
This is the I was talking about!
Wow. I guess I'm just really bad at you holding me over your head while I do nothing.
Keep practicing, you'll get there. And I like how you're at least 18 years old.
Actually,
I like how you're at least 18 years old. Her nickname was Baby, which means over 18 years old. Anyway, we were falling in love, but then...
Joe, come quick. It's Dancy.
Again?
He's developmentally disabled, and that's the only thing he knows how to say. But still, we should go check on her.
I feel like there's a lot of shade thrown at the movie here.
Fortunately, Jennifer had called her father, who's a doctor.
Oh, dear God. Good thing I got here in time. Fetch me my big bag of medical supplies I take on vacation.
Thank you for coming, Dr. Hartman.
Shut up. I don't like you because you're poor.
Daddy, is she gonna be okay?
She's gonna make it. But I blame you for this, because it's important for the story that I blame you for this.
I'm sorry?
Sorry doesn't cut it. Something this terrible calls for real consequences. No dancing with my daughter at the meaningless talent show.
What? No!
My word is final.
at the meaningless talent show, huh? Is that really the plot of the movie?
I'm thinking about Jennifer and how she's like the wind.
What does that mean? She's like the wind.
Just, she and the wind. Lots of similarities there, She's very wind-like.
Yeah, but like by how specifically?
I mean, where do I even start? Basically, they're like two peas in a pod, those two. Her and the wind,
No, I don't know. You keep saying you know, and I don't know, and that's why I'm asking the question. In what precise way is she like the wind?
Well, like if you picture my heart like trees, she blows through my trees.
All right, so in what way is your heart like trees?
Oh, look, it's a good song, okay? The point is, I'm missing Jennifer. I want her back.
Just say that then. Enough with this wind business.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're referencing there either.
The show started late because the grandma bragging had gone a bit long.
Doctor. Lawyer.
I feel like I actually do remember that in the movie.
Nobody puts legal adult in a corner. Well, unfortunately, this was the Star of David Dining Hall, so pretty much the whole place was corners. It was finally time for us to dance together. Happy 1963, everyone. For our big finale, we're going to dance to a song written in 1985. And everyone was cheering for us.
Yay! Joe, come quick. It's dancing.
And that's the story of my first love.
Was just straight up just Dirty Dancing, just the plot of Dirty Dancing. Like, at least with the first story, it jumped between different movies. Like, it was Castaway, then it became, I'm pretty sure a Helen Hunt movie was something in itself already. Captain Phillips, and there was a whole nother one that was kind of left field with that too. But it was like at least 3 movies in there. 3, 4 maybe possible movies in that one story, with Castaway being the main one. This one, it was just standalone Dirty Dancing. I don't know. Like, it seemed like it riffed on the plot really hard, like Family Guy usually does. But there's still 1 or 2 more stories left, so we'll see. All right, let's see whose story this is.
Well,
Anyway, I remember my first.
Oh.
Think it's probably going to be Peter, right?
Sorry, Cleveland. But I remember my first
Damn.
love. It was 1989, the golden age of Hollywood. The year of Troop Beverly Hills, Fletch Lives, Gleeman the Cube, and a hilarious new addition to the Harry and the Hendersons franchise. Harry meets a girl, Bigfoot? Count me in. Well, that's what I thought. Swing, I said, being the first person who ever said that.
Ha ha, that guy's the first person to ever say that. Wow, you're hilarious. What's your name so we can tell everyone that you were the first?
Ah, come on, guys. I don't care who gets the credit.
This is making your story less credible.
Anyway, from the
Interesting.
first time I saw Meg Ryan pout in When Harry Met Sally, I knew I wanted to see her pout in every movie. And then eventually change her face so she's incapable of pouting. Nothing better than movie theater popcorn. Some for me, some for the cleaning guy. Some for me, some for the cleaning guy.
What's that guy doing? He's ruining the movie. Joe, come quick. It's dancing.
Nice.
That day we talked and talked as an unrealistic amount of leaves fell around us. I even followed her into other movies, like Sleepless in Seattle, which ends on the top of the Empire State Building.
Gee, Pop, I'm sorry I left my backpack just laying around at the Empire State Building, which is an actual plot point from the film.
Don't worry, it's still just the 1990s, so it's okay to abandon your backpack in big city landmarks. See something? Say nothing. That's the 1990s New York way. Hey,
Hey.
this is our last chance to look at Brooklyn before Lena Dunham gets there. I also followed her to You've Got Mail, where I drove her little bookstore out of business before my big bookstore went out of business. Also, I DM'd her on my 8-inch thick laptop. But then came the movie that changed everything. The most important film of all time. In the Cut. Because naked!
It's just ever since we met, you've been my best friend, and I was always afraid of damaging that because I don't want to risk this connection.
Shh, 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 shh. Hey, Shut up, Meg.
Nice.
Excuse me, sir. Sir? Wake up, sir.
Turns out I never did get pulled up into that movie screen. I had just Pee Wee Herman'd myself in the theater and fell asleep.
What's going on here?
I'll have what she's having? And that's when my doctor said you can't drink and do Ambien. So there you go. My first love, Meg Ryan. Or maybe Melanie Griffith. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, did you see Body Double? Good God.
That's a wonderful story, Peter. I'm always happy just to listen and be here for you. Is it okay if I tell my first love story?
If it wasn't good enough to tell in one of the 88 episodes of your show, maybe it's not good enough for us.
Oh, wow.
Could you guys do me a favor and laugh like I'm telling you a hilarious story? See, I get a flashback too.
I don't see nothing shimmering.
Well, that was damn. That was that was an interesting episode. I did think it was I don't know. I think it would have been cool to find a way to squeeze in 4 stories with Cleveland getting his, but I don't know about the Donna aspect of it. But I did like how the joke was that he wasn't able to tell it, but I guess Donna was part of that joke. But I don't know. I feel like they could have portrayed her a lot nicer. Because I don't know. Just kind of took away the humor, the way they kind of portrayed Donna as part of that joke. But other than that, it was a really good episode. Like, I'm not going to lash on the ending too much. It was only a minute long anyway. It didn't really break away from the episode at all anyway, to begin with. Like, it was a really nice little simple episode of they're drinking at the clam telling stories. I'd have to say the first one was probably my favorite. I don't know, between that one and Peter. Peter was probably really good too because it wasn't really based off of one particular movie. It was just him jumping between movies, which is great because like that was one of the things I liked about the first story because it wasn't just Castaway. It was Castaway with a small mixture of like 3 or 4 other movies as well. And then my least favorite had to have been Dirty Dancing. I feel like I have a better understanding now of the plot of Dirty Dancing than I did when I first, I guess, saw it when I fell asleep watching it at my grandparents' house like 11 years ago. But no, it was a really good episode. I had fun. That was actually meant to be the 400th episode in terms of like how many have aired. That was the one that aired the 400th episode. Even though I guess in production it isn't. In production it was the one that was called Get Stewie. And apparently that was an idea that the writers was given by Seth MacFarlane himself. So that was kind of interesting how he hasn't written for the show in like over 10 years, but like he ended up pitching the idea that ended up being the 400th episode production wise. Next 3 YouTube videos I'll probably be making are probably going to be me watching and reacting to Family Guy as well. So that's, I guess, something to look forward to, possibly. So with that being said, I guess that's it for this episode. I'll see you in the next episode, and have a good one.